Hi, this is Rebecca Bell, and I own Mindful Movements Pilates Studio in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And I wanted to just put together a short video with a sampling of exercises of what a Pilates class might look like for a Parkinson's group. And there's many forms of exercise, many forms of Pilates that you can do. You can work on the equipment, which offers some spring resistance and just other forms of support for your body and can offer some bigger exercises. But the gist of it is really being able to work on the floor or even a bed or is something that you can get yourself up on. So I'm going to go through about, maybe about 6 or 7 exercises that you can work with at home that can help with your core control. It can help with your posture, and get some dynamic movement, some breathing. So opening up your chest is always a good thing with Parkinson's. So I'm on a platform here that is a few inches off the floor. Like I said, you can use your bed and anything that you can lay comfortably on. Some props that you might want to have available for you if you do floor work is maybe some towels to put behind your head. If you know that you have very rounded shoulders, when you lay down on your back, sometimes your head really falls back. And so having some towels that you can put behind your head is always helpful. If you lay down on your back and you feel like your back really lifts up off the floor, and I'll explain that in a second, then you may want to incorporate putting some towels underneath your hips or using a small ball or something that you would find. You can buy a little ball just from the from Walmart or Target, a small playground ball. That also can help your hips. One thing you might want to have available is maybe like a belt or a strap or something that you can actually support your legs with if you were to do some stretches. So we'll move forward and I will give you some things that you can work with at home and to improve, again, your center of gravity, your core strength, a little bit of mobility, breathing, things like that. So the first thing you would do is lay down onto the surface that you chose. And we always do a little bit of self-assessment. So the best way to think this through is to think about where the crown of your head is, like right behind the bridge of your nose. And if you feel like, oh, I can't feel that, or that doesn't make sense to me, or you're looking way back, or you're feeling like your shoulders are really coming forward, any neck strain, then you're probably somebody that needs to put some pillows. Like, oh, you can use a pillow behind your head, you can use towels behind your head, all that works. And then the second thing you want to take a look at is down through the ribs. So you want to feel like if you were to put your fingers on your sternum bone right here, that there is weight that would be driving right down through there. Okay. So if you feel like that's really lifted, or you can stick your hand underneath this part of your back, then again, something like a pillow would really help you get that down. Okay. Moving down into your pelvis, your hips here. So when you have some connection to your hips, again, this is your center of gravity. So the stronger your hips are, the more mobile your hips are. That always helps your balance. But you want to feel like you're laying right on the backside of your pelvis. So there's a triangle shaped bone back here, and you just want to feel like you're laying right on it. And if you don't, or if you feel like you're getting a little bit of a pull in your back, or the front of your hips really hurt just laying here, then I would use the ball or like maybe a pillow or a folded up towel and put that behind your hips. Again, pillows work very nicely here as well, or a couple folded up towels like bath towels. So those are some things that you can use to prop your body to get the most out of the work. So we always start a Pilates class with some breathing. So some breathing here is breathing in through the nose, breathing out through your mouth. And just as you breathe, really try to get all the air out. As you breathe in, you're trying to expand your ribs into the sides of your arms, and then you're going to exhale your way out. Sometimes when you are suffering with Parkinson's, the breath becomes very shallow. And that becomes a problem when the chest gets really tight. And so we really want to really train your body to take a full expansive inhale and exhale. And as you exhale, feel your belly button come back down into your spine. So just take that full expansive inhale here and that deep exhale. And deep breath in and deep breath out. Deep breath in, deep breath out. It helps if maybe you put your hands over your belly, and as you exhale, you're feeling your belly fall down into your hands. So just some things that you can try. From there, you want to think about those 3 points again. You want to think about the crown of the head, the sternum, and the sacrum. And you would fall into doing these, something we call knee floats. So you would just bring one leg up at a time. So you would lift one leg, you would bring it all the way back down, and then you would lift the other leg. The trick to this is just feeling the hips up against your floor or whatever towel or whatever you chose to use, and that you're not wobbling from side to side. They're called knee floats because your knee is actually floating up. You're really contracting your abdominal muscles to do this. Part of the mind-body connection with Pilates is coordinating a lot of different principles at once. So we want to have our belly button to spine, and you want to breathe with a movement. So you want to have your exhale happen as you're lifting the leg. And the better you get, the lighter your legs actually start to be, and the more core engagement. So when you have a stronger core, your brain is gonna find the center of your spine a little bit better, which is gonna help your balance. And again, you just have better stability when you do other movements, when you have a strong core. This just definitely will help you find those abdominals. So we'll just do one more each side, okay? And then you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna bring that back down. From there, another one that you can work on is a chest lift. So the chest lift will help you come down deep into the abdominals, and you will take your hands back behind your head. You would let your head fall heavy into your hands, right? Just let your head weight come heavy, and you're just going to lift it off of your towels if you chose, or just up off the floor a few inches. You're going to look to see your elbows. So you're going to look to find your elbows and just pull them forward a little bit. And you're just going to allow yourself from here to lift your chest 1 or 2 inches up to the ceiling. You're literally going to come up a little bit. So you want to feel like you're connecting your ribs to your hips here, and that you're again, exhaling. There's that breath control and really feeling that belly button come to your spine. And then you're going to let it come down just like it maybe a few inches here. And then you're going to take your chest lift up to the ceiling and then back about an inch and take that exhale. So again, there's the breathing control, there's the abdominal control, and then part of this exercise is when you're getting this idea of curling from your breastbone, you're getting a little bit of a stretch across the middle part of your back. So you're just going to take that exhale, and then you're going to inhale, and you're going to exhale, and you're going to inhale, and then you're going to bring it back down to where you started. Take your arms down by your side. So another exercise is arm floats. So we're going to reach your arms back by your cheekbones, and just reach them back is like maybe you can see your elbows just out of the corners of your eyes, and then you're going to bring it back down. So we want this element of control. And so I want you to be able to reach your arms way back there by your cheekbones without your ribs moving up and down. So let me show you what it might look like, or what it might feel like. You might feel like your ribs are lifting, and like your back is lifting up off the floor. And if you feel that, you're going to try to again keep the ribs and the belly button down. So basically, you're not changing the distance between like your breastbone and the belly button. So the distance between your breastbone, belly button is staying the same as you go back and forth. That's going to give you a little bit better range of motion in your shoulder. Okay. And then you're going to breathe as you bring that back down. You can make a circle here. So you can circle your arms, which is going to give you a little range of motion through your shoulders. Okay. So again, we have these elements that we put into Pilates, the control. So you're controlling this from your belly button and those ribs staying down. You're breathing, coordinating your breath with your movement, and just getting some range of motion from your shoulder. So your shoulder will move better when you have that strong, stable core. And we'll just do a couple more like this. You're going to inhale, bring it all the way around. And you're going to inhale and you're going to bring it all the way around. And then you're going to take your arms down by your sides right here. Just let your arms reach nice and long. From there, we're going to put some pressure into your feet. We're going to go into a bridge next. So we're going to move the pelvis back and forth a little bit. So you're just going to rock the pelvis. So what I'm doing is I'm sending my lower back down to the mat, sending the pubic bone away from you. Send the lower back towards the mat, send the pubic bone away from you. That's a tuck and a tilt. So that's always a nice way to start a bridge, is just to get a little bit of motion going. So even if you can't bring your legs, your hips up off the floor, you can always just do this. You can always just rock the pelvis back and forth. So you're going to rock it back. Okay, so your lower back is just kind of pulling a little closer to the floor. You're going to push down into your feet and your hips are going to come up. So your hips are going to go up. Your ribs get a little heavier. You're going to pull down through your feet. So feel like your feet are just kind of going down into sand and you're really pushing your feet down in there. And then you're going to just bring your hips back down to the mat. You're going to push down with your feet. You're going to lift yourself up. And then you're going to bring it back down. So what we're doing here is we're activating the glute muscles in the backside of your hips. So when we walk or do really anything, we need to have strong glutes. And this will help you really find the glutes. It'll help you find the backs of your legs, so you get some strengthening here. And again, you're articulating through your spine, which means you're getting some movement through your spine. Okay, just one vertebrae at a time coming down. And you're reaching your arms. Again, every breath, every movement in Pilates is coordinated with a breath. So you would inhale on the way up, exhale on the way down, or you can do it the other way around, right? You can exhale as you come up, and then you're going to inhale as you come down, as long as you're finding some groove of moving through there. So you're going to go ahead, you're going to lift, and then you're going to bring yourself back down. Okay. And then you're going to just hug your knees into your chest, take one knee in and then the other one, and just give yourself some movement. Allow yourself to rock from side to side and just kind of massage your spine around a little bit, kind of move your shoulder, your legs around, maybe circle them around a little bit. Okay. And then from there, we're going to do a little bit bigger movement. We're going to move your spine a little bit. So we're going to roll you onto your side and you're going to sit yourself into a sitting position. Now, this next exercise, you can do this on the floor, or if you have, again, like a little box or an ottoman or something, you can sit up on the box or the ottoman. You can sit in a chair and do this exercise. So if you were sitting in a chair, you would sit with your feet flat. If you were going to sit up on an ottoman, like I have just this box, like maybe 8 inches off the ground, you would extend your arms straight out in front of you. Okay, like you're reaching for something just out of your reach. And the idea is you are getting up as tall as you can. So you're working a posture so your ribs are over your hips. So if you kind of took your fingers and found your low rib and found the top of your hip here, you would have these two things stacked right on top of one another. And then you're going to turn to your right. You're going to come back to center. You're going to turn to your left. You're going to come back to center. You're going to turn to your right. You're going to come back to center. You're going to turn to your left. So as you're doing this, you're feeling like you're just getting up taller. So you're really lengthening yourself right up to the ceiling. And things to watch for on your own body is if you're flailing your arms back and forth, you're really missing the twist. So you really want to keep some mobility through your spine. So when you have good mobility through your spine, again, your body just responds a little bit better to when you're walking or doing things, and not as much rigidity. Okay, so we get a lot of rigidity when we have the tightness that Parkinson's will often bring on. So you're just going to go back and forth a few times here. Okay. And then you're going to go ahead and then bring that to a stop. And then from here, maybe bring your legs together, maybe bend your knees a little bit, reach one arm up to the ceiling, and then you're going to move over to the side and you're going to bring them back. One thing with Parkinson's is doing bigger dynamic movement. So the body craves that, and you're just going to move over to the side. You're going to come back. You're going to move over to the side and come back. So this is an example of a dynamic stretch. I'm moving the body. I'm creating some length, I'm coming back. And then we're gonna go ahead and bring it over to the other side. You're gonna reach your arm up and you're gonna go over. So if you notice on this side, I'm just holding my fingertip down onto the floor, offering a little bit of support because we really wanna stay lifted on both sides. So you really wanna lift up and then go on over. And again, you can do this standing, you can do this sitting, right? You can do this like in a kitchen chair or something before you get up, or maybe you've been working at a desk and you need to get up and maybe do a little bit of dynamic stretching first. And then you're going to go ahead and then bring that arm down. Okay. So from there, you would come onto all fours. So if you come onto all fours, you just place your hands out in front of you. And again, we want some movement of your spine. So we want to keep a very mobile spine. You're going to pull your abdominals in towards your spine, and then you're going to round your back up. And then you're going to press your chest back down to the floor. And you're going to round yourself up. And you're going to press yourself back to the floor. So again, you're moving your spine, okay? And I just want you to think about maybe moving your lower spine a little bit. So I always will tell my classes to just move what you think feels good to your body. And then start to get a little bit more into your lower back. Just kind of pull that belly button up towards your spine and then allow that low back to move. So see if you can get some movement through there. So just kind of move it back and forth. And of course, breath is important to all these exercises. You're going to inhale, you're going to exhale. You're going to inhale, you're going to exhale. You're going to inhale, you're going to exhale. And one more time, you're going to inhale, and then you're going to exhale, and then bring it back. Okay. So we would get you off of your knees. And then what you might want to do is grab your strap or a strap, a belt, a towel. And again, dynamic stretching is really good for people with Parkinson's. You put your strap around your leg, you would lay yourself all the way back. You would bring your leg up towards the ceiling. Just see where you can go with it. So again, if you use the towels behind your head, they would still be there. Your hips are staying down on the mat. So a lot of times people will stretch and they lift their hips way up and they're really not stretching in the hamstrings. So you really want to keep your hips down and maybe just give a little bit of a tug back and then release it, a little bit of a tug back. So your knee is staying nice and straight and you're just pulling it back and forward. So again, maybe 10, 12 times is enough. And you would just go to the point of feeling a stretch. You don't have to go past it. You don't have to go to the point of pain, just to the point of feeling a little bit of tension in the backside of your leg. And then you would just bring your other leg up. You would switch the other leg out. So I can straighten my leg, but you can also bend your knee. So if it's bothering your back, you would just bend that other knee. Right. So it just depends on where you are. And again, just start low and then slowly work it up. Try to keep your knee as straight as you can. Okay, so you're just going back and forth here. We're going to do this a couple more times. And then go ahead and release that out there. And then go ahead and just let your strap go down, hug your knees into your chest, move your body from side to side. And then you're going to go ahead and roll onto your side. So again, there's a little sampling of what floor Pilates looks like as catered to a Parkinson's group, and just a few things that you can do at home on a daily basis, and hopefully just get some movement into your body, get some stretching into your body, and go about your day. You can stretch many times a day, especially with this type of thing. You can do dynamic stretches several times through your day as you feel tightness creep in. So I hope that helps, and please reach out if you have any further questions. Thank you.